on that. You guys ready for your next comic down? Guys, he's wearing a polo. Give it up for Rob Trotter, everyone.
Thank you very much for that. I really appreciate that clapping of anticipation, hopeful applause that says, God, please let this guy be funny. Please just entertain me for 3 minutes. It reminds me of the hopeful applause my wife would give early in our marriage when she would say the same thing and hope for 3 minutes of pure entertainment. So, seriously, thank you for the warm welcome. I warn you now about my jokes, that your satisfaction is completely determined based off of your expectations. If you have high expectations, I will surely disappoint. But like I told my wife when we were talking about sex, if you lower your expectations, then I'm bound to please. So you walk out and you're going, he wasn't that bad. Like early on when I was talking to my wife about sex, I would tell her, I say, sex with me is not like going to Disneyland. It's more like Frontier City. You'll wait just as long for those rides, but they'll be shorter and clunkier, and there's a strong chance you'll leave with a crick in your neck. If you know that going in, then there's a surprise little thrust right in the middle that you'll find rather pleasing. But my wife is a great sport. She's wonderful about all these jokes that I tell her. People will come up to us and say, Rob, how do you do it? How do you tell all these jokes about you and your wife without getting her upset? And I said, well, it is a challenge. There's a balance you gotta maintain, but it can be done. And because when you write about what you know, which is really all I know about my daily life with my wife, that's what you do. But the problem becomes that my wife really doesn't give me a whole lot of material to write about. In truth, she's really not that interesting. She's actually kind of boring. And there's really no conflict between us. My wife is the kindest, sweetest, wonderful, beautiful, most great woman that you will ever meet. Right, honey? So I've had to learn to kind of stretch, to exaggerate, to make things up. So I just want everybody in the room right now to know that whatever I say going forward about my wife is a lie. So, my wife is kind of crazy. You know, talk about living with somebody with high expectations. Yeah, there's your normal life, and then there's my wife. There's some people out there, some wives out there that would expect their husband to, I don't know, cook dinner for them 2 to 3 times a week. But my wife expects 7 meals a day, nicely garnished with flowers and some kind of mixed drink served while she's on the couch reading a book. Or some wives might expect the husband to hang a picture that's level, but my wife expects me to knock down that wall, put up a specialized cabinet with some hidden room for storage in the back. Now, it didn't always be like this. Early on in my days, I was able to keep those expectations low. But something happened lately, and really what it is she discovered Instagram and TikTok. So I could see her over there scrolling. And one day I got a hold of her phone and take a look at it, and I could see the man bun lumberjack splitting wood. Or she's discovered some asshole that was a stick named Get Real Jake, where all he does is he takes his shirt off, wears some kind of cowboy hat, and sits there shows these exercises that's supposed to come up with a way to help you perform better sexually, like right. And, so there was this one video I saw where he was, not kidding, in his underwear on all fours with a ball on his crotch, and he was doing these kind of hip thrust things to show how you can get a deeper penetration. And that's when I knew I had it all lost. That my wife wanted Disneyland. It's been great.